It's another interesting time for us to have on the show. Yes, on television, as regards sports business. Chidi Olano is my name, welcoming you to Sport Exchange, your one-stop shop for anything sports business. It's a pleasure to bring it again. Okay? Yes, on today's show, it's going to be quite interesting because we will be talking about that we have a report on how Nigeria is preparing for the Olympics, especially in the track and field event. Also, Euro 2020, in 2021. That's it. We will have some figures for you on the clubs as regards the number of players that they have and the value of some players as far as Euro 2020 is concerned. On the dugout segment, we'll be looking at football leadership and management. We've got an egghead all the way from the UK that will be joining us. And there is an update on what we had as our offside last week. You remember the show put up by Cristiano Ronaldo at the press conference. There is an update, and that will be our offside segment on the show. And that is our welcome you to another edition. Thank you very much, and we'll go on a short break, and it will be time to kickstart the show.
Fantastically finished.
Yes, welcome back. How much is an Olympic medal worth? Yeah, if you don't know, then you can look at what has happened to Nigeria. In the last 25 years, Nigeria has not won any gold medal, aside the one won in 1996 at the Atlanta Olympics. Yes, talking about the long jump event won by Chioma Ajunwa. We also had the football gold medal won in the football event. 25 years after, we're still longing for Nigeria, especially. Nigeria is still longing for another medal. That is what it's worth. That means that for any money, for any amount, Nigeria would want to buy the gold. So, what's happening? Nigeria track and field used to be Nigeria's area of comparative advantage, okay? But now, nothing is happening. But hopefully, in a couple of days from now, Nigeria should be on the podium. And in the next reports by Simisola Adigun, it says a lot about how Nigeria is preparing for the track and field event at the Tokyo Olympics. Let's take the report from Simisola Adigun.
Nigerian athletes showed up in their best form as they slogged it out to secure tickets for the delayed 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. Sadly, Nigeria's 4x4 relay teams failed to meet the mark for the global games. The men's 4x100 meters and 4x400 meters teams both fell short of the required time for an Olympic ticket. Also, for the women's teams, the 4x400 team is yet to qualify, but the 4x100 have only provisionally qualified for the games with a tentative 42.97 seconds that put them in the 15th qualification position. In spite of this, President of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria judged the performances of all the participating athletes as the best in recent times.
Very well organized. The athletes that come, both the ones from abroad and the ones here, home base, they were all taken care of. They were put in good hotels, the feeding, the transportation, everything seamless. So no problem, well organized trials that we have here.
Other stakeholders say the national trials has added value to Nigerian athletes.
I can go home tonight and rest well, knowing that athletics is back on the front burner of our sporting heritage. For me, it's a gratifying event. The last 3 days has been very gratifying. And we must congratulate the Honorable Minister first for being able to put the House of Athletics back in order.
We'll pick the athletes, and even the ones that didn't even run a good time, we have the intention to invite them to come. And then from there, they will start the training. And as they train, the minister is in support, Okowa is in support, and we believe that we'll go places. We should be able to bring out one of the best teams in Nigeria for the first time, and we are looking forward to getting a medal in that.
As it stands, all hopes are not lost yet, as the Nigerian relay teams will have another chance to secure their qualification at the Lagos State Athletics Meet, a one-day event billed for Thursday at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. Simisola Jigun, TV 360, Lagos.
Well, we want to wish the Olympic teams, that is in the track and field, they've had their trials. We want to wish them all the best. But just like I said, how much is a gold medal worth? An Olympic gold medal, that is. If you know what it's worth, then you need to look at the amount of work put into the trials and the preparation for the Olympics. Okay, from there, let's get down to Europe, where the UEFA Euro 2020 is on, and we've got some stats for you there. It's on your screen, looking at Euro 2020, clubs with the most participating players. Of course, you can see Manchester City is there. If you can see the number of players they've had, they have the highest number of players. Manchester City, Chelsea is there, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Manchester United, Dynamo Kiev, there's the Borussia Dortmund, Borussia Mönchengladbach, RB Leipzig, RB Leipzig, Liverpool, and Inter Milan. They have the highest number of players there. So check it out on the screen. The numbers are there for you. You could see, but Manchester City has the highest number of players. So that shows that if you are good, yeah, for Chelsea and Manchester City, yeah, they are both topping that, topping the table there. So congratulations to Man City, and coincidentally, they played in the UEFA Champions League final, the two teams, Manchester City and Chelsea, but unfortunately, for Manchester City, Chelsea won it, but for Manchester City, they went away with the Premier League trophy. Yes, that's it. So we must give it to them. And we move on to the top 5 most valuable players by group. In Group A, we've seen those two players that we've seen some of the players there. You can look at it. We have some of them. Yeah. In Group B, they're there. Kevin De Bruyne is there. Lukaku is there. And they are there for you to see the most valuable with their price tag. And from there, we go to Group C. Check them out. De Jong is there from Barcelona, and lots of the other players there. And Group D also, you can see Harry Kane is there. Group D, the valuable players that we have there, the top 5 players there. Then Marcus Rashford is there. Jadon Sancho there also. And of course, in Group E, you'll see them there. Yeah, they are there for you. And Group F, you see those top players there. Valuable players. They've got money on there. So money, if you look at the UEFA Euro 2020 rather, UEFA Euro 2020, you'll see that some players are there and they are valuable. Okay, so good to see those figures there. So we just had to bring it to you so that you can know, especially for those who clubs have who support clubs that some of these valuable players play for. So you know that you've got the bragging right as far as your player is concerned in UEFA Euro 2020. Okay, up next is the dugout segment, and coincidentally, our guest in the dugout is also a volunteer at Euro 2020. Yes, he is an associate lecturer of football studies, Solvent University, all the way from UK, London to be precise. Dr. Com Hickey joins me on the show today. Hello, Dr. Com Hickey. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Hello, Zide, and it's an honor and a privilege to be invited on your show. which I've heard so much about, and am delighted to be participating.
Once again, I must say thank you very much for the endorsement. You've heard so much. We only hope that we can have more of people like you so that they can give insight to the business of sports, and we'll develop it in this part of the world, as well as leveraging on it to build partnerships that works. And I just want to say thank you very much once again for joining me. And let me start. You were a volunteer in Euro 2020. How far, how well have the organizers performed so far?
Well, thank you for that. The volunteering has gone very, very well. 8,500 people volunteered to be on the program, and 4,000 people were invited for interview, and 1,500 people were selected. And we are placed in all areas of London to help visitors and explain to them where the various tourist sites are, to give them directions to the stadia, to participate in the football parks, and generally to give the fans a good experience, not as they go to the game and in the days between games.
Volunteering, that means that there's so much to do when you talk about volunteering in sports generally, especially. How can you imagine how it will be with events without volunteers? How will that happen?
Well,
is it possible?
Well, the answer, of course, is it's not possible. And I think the interesting thing, G-Day, is you only get out of life what you put in. And people who are prepared to volunteer, they give up their time, they do it for free, but the payback they get isn't in finance, but it's in participating in a tournament and in feeling that you're contributing to the community. And I think that those things are very, very important, because there are some things that money can't buy.
Wow. That is a word for me. That's a word on the marble for me. There are some things that money can buy, especially the legacy that you leave behind us when it comes to events of such magnitude, especially like the Euro 2020. And let's talk about, you are a director of Van Dyke Academy of Sports. And I know that you have a partnership with the University of Port Harcourt Sports Institute, and very soon you will be teaching some people on football management as well as leadership. There is a program coming up, and maybe you can just take us through what the idea behind this.
Okay. The Van Dyke Academy has been set up with Result Sports in partnership with the premier university in Africa for sport, Port Harcourt. We're very honoured to be with them, and to develop sports programs, sports industry programs through the Sports Institute. And the programs are three main programs. One is sports, football leadership and management, which I deliver from London. The second one is a match analysis program, which is delivered by Michele Castiani, and he is based in Italy. And the third one is social media and sports program, which is developed and run by Mario Leo, who is based in Germany. The whole idea of these programs is to develop a transformational impact on sport in Africa, and to develop programs on a digital platform which will allow people, not just in Nigeria, but throughout Africa, to participate in sports program courses which are validated by Port Harcourt, and to develop skills and competencies to improve the whole sporting development, not just in Nigeria, but throughout Africa.
All right. Thank you very much, Com. Let's look at leadership in sport generally, or let's zero into football leadership. How important is, you getting equipped for, you're one surgeon into the area of football. How important? If I ask you, because you've been there.
I think the most important thing in football leadership is, funnily enough, the same thing that's important in business leadership or political leadership or even religious leadership. And that is about vision and values. What do you actually believe in, and what do you want to achieve? Because in any element of leadership, be it in sport or business or politics, there will come a time when you've got a difficult decision to make. And if your values are strong and if your principles are sound, the decision that you make, which although might be unpopular, if you've got the right vision and values, you will be doing the right thing. Where people get unstuck is they have a poor set of principles or no real vision, no strong sense of values, and then they react to each problem by doing what they think will please people at the time. And that often contradicts other things that they've done that have pleased other people at other times, and you get a mess. So vision and values, I think, are key. I think having a sense of strategy is vital. And I think communicating your vision, your values, and your strategy within your local community to build agreement and support for that vision, value, and strategy, those are the foundation blocks for success, whether that's in business or in football.
All right. Do some of those things you just mentioned, do they also count for the metrics you use in measuring if someone is up to a good, sound leadership in football?
I think the way in which you assess people in leadership is very complex. I don't think there is a metric system for leadership. Okay. However, I think what there is a way to ask yourself, is the person who is leading your organization, if you've appointed them as a manager or a chief executive, are they implementing a strategy that is going to achieve the goals that you've set out? So in the sense of having a metrics, I would suggest not. But in the sense of having a plan and having targets that are agreed to be achieved, I think in that sense you can judge people against how successful they've been in moving the club or themselves along that path to greater success. I think that would be the most objective way of assessing and analyzing a leader's performance. It's not just what they say, it's what they do. And if they have set a clear plan for success, and you give them time to achieve that, if they fail in the time period, then that's pretty clear. But you've got something to judge them against.
Doctor, it looks like we are in the classroom, and that means I love the enthusiasm, and I can see it over you that you can't wait for that summit in July. And before I let you go, what should the participants be expecting, especially from you?
I think it's very kind of you to say enthusiasm and passion. Those are things that I would accept about me. I think that three things. Firstly, they will understand by doing the course that football is a globalized sport, and there are examples and experiences that they can pick up throughout the world and take to their club, no matter how big or no matter how small. That's the first thing. I think the second thing they will get from the course is a broad understanding of all elements of football and business. I've spoken about vision and values, but also marketing, media, finance, talent development, performance, and these things. So people will come away with a very good grounding in all elements of football leadership and management, and understand the business side of football and the football side of business, what each can learn. And I think the third thing that they can do on this blended learning course is that they will work with other students on the course, learn from each other, and be able to develop strategies and take away ideas for development that will strengthen their courses and their skills. And my final point on that would be that we are developing the online platform with Canopy Lab, digital platform company in Denmark, which is a very, very world-leading organization.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Com Hickey, for talking to me on the football leadership and management course that is coming up later in a couple of days, or a few days from now, July to be precise. I just want to say I look forward to seeing you there, and thank you very much for coming around.
Well, thank you very much, and good wishes to everyone in Nigeria.
All right. Stay safe, Doctor. See you some other time. Yeah. All right, that's it. Quickly before we go on the show, like I said, there's an update to the Ronaldo show at the press conference in UEFA Euro 2020. It is true that Ronaldo, in front of the press, declined to drink the strategically placed Coca-Colas on offer. It is also true that by the time the press conference was over, Coca-Cola's value was down $4 billion. However, there were other factors affecting the beverage giant stock price. Some non-alternative facts here. Coca-Cola has 4.3 billion shares and closed on Friday, June 11th, with a share price of $56.16 for a market value of $242 billion. On Monday, June the 14th, Coca-Cola opened lower at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. At 9:40 a.m. East Standard Time, its stock price was $55.26, down by 1.6%, and the market value had dipped to $238 billion, $4 billion lower than the prior day. Cristiano Ronaldo moves the Coca-Cola bottles at 9:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and says agua, which means water, and that is a fact. Then that Coca-Cola's market value was already down $4 billion by the time of Ronaldo's snub. Instead, various factors which have nothing to do with CR7 explain the drop. For instance, at 9:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the whole U.S. stock market was trading low. Ford, for example, Ford Motor Company was down more than $2 billion in market value. Stock movements are often too complex to attribute to a single factor. Rather, they are vulnerable to confounding events that happen concurrently and whose relationship to each other is blurry. That's it. Don't forget you can reach me on our social platforms. Yeah, they are there on Facebook, Sport Exchange 24, and also on Twitter too, Sport Exchange 24. And don't forget that you can also like our YouTube channel also, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is TV 360 Nigeria, where you can watch some other interesting content. Okay? Till I come your way next time, Jide Olano is my name. Yours truly today, tomorrow, of the future in sports business. This is where the cookie crumbles, and see you some other time.